Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. As always, I am super excited to be here each and every week. Went through withdrawals last week because I wasn't here, so I'm so happy to be back here this week doing this live free dog training session for you guys to answer all your dog training questions. Good to be back. Excited to be here again. For those of you who don't know me, good morning, Donna, Rich, and everybody. I had a great weekend with the family in Hilton Head last weekend. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with me for not broadcasting live last week. But for those of you who are new joining me, please put in a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. Even if you're not new, let me know you're watching. If you're watching later on the replay, also put a comment on. Let me know you're watching. And for those who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. And each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I present to you this live free dog training. So good morning, Michelle, Rob, Athena, and Bergen. How are things going with the new addition in the family there? Excited to hear the progress that you're making. But I am going to start the subject off as I always do until we start seeing some questions coming up. And guys, I know I didn't broadcast last week, but I stayed on Facebook. I was reading articles, I was doing things, and I just saw one this morning, the same thing, about dogs getting out through the front door, through the gates, through open areas, out to the outside world. And unfortunately, in the last 2 weeks, I've seen 6 different articles posted from around the country of dogs getting out and unfortunately running into traffic, getting hit by a car, and passing away. Guys, I know I sound like a broken record and I talk about it week in, week out. Please work on your threshold management with your dogs. Work on controlling their excitement. The outside world should not represent that type of excitement where your dog just bolts and anything can happen. If we learn to control the excitement of the dog's world, where they're not to get excited on their own, they're only supposed to get excited when we're asking them to be playful or whatever, and we learn to control the excitement, so many unwanted behaviors stop happening. By controlling the excitement of the outside world, all those whatever's going through their minds, oh my God, freedom, yay, I can go. You can control that. You save your dog's life. And I go back to the story that Donna and Rich shared with me about how the landscapers left the gate open and Stark didn't try to get out. He stayed in the yard. That's beautiful, because if he would have got out, who knows what could have happened. God forbid, get hit by a car. Somebody steals him. Reality is, depending on the breed, if it's one of the bully breeds or a Rottie or a German Shepherd and people see them running around neighborhoods, they may get scared and hurt the dog. So again, we really want to stress threshold management is so crucial to your dog's survival. I don't know how else to say it. Please, if you don't watch any other video I ever produce, please watch the video on my playlist, How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps. Watch episode 2. It's about threshold management. Focus on that. Just focus on just work on it. And even down a perfect comment. Just because you think you mastered it doesn't mean it's not a continuous work thing. Do it day in, practice it. I mean, Zoe's a phenomenal dog, and I work on threshold management with her. Maybe not every day, but every 3 or 4 days, maybe every other week, I work with her where I'll go out my door and I'll walk down the hallway, and she has to stay at that threshold. Just because that door's open does not mean she's allowed out. Period. End of discussion. And I practice it not only at the door going out to the breezeway, I practice it at the gates getting out to the parking lot. I practice it in multiple places. We practice it going out to our deck. We practice it going into the clubhouse, coming out of the clubhouse. We practice, we put into effect, we read it, until I feel like a broken record. Threshold management is the most important areas of work on so many reasons. Yes. Good morning, Patrice. I hope those videos I sent you helped you. Patrice had some questions on a tool usage, prong collar usage, I don't have any videos out on those yet. I'm going to try to really focus on putting out my own video on prong collar and e-collar uses in the next couple of weeks. I hope those videos were helpful. The ones I recommended, I like the way he teaches it. He goes over it, he explains it. It's a little bit long-winded, but it works. He's a very good trainer, Jeff Gelman. So I hope they helped you out there, Patrice. And remember, and since we're talking about that, and I know Donna and Rich can would remember this. Patrice introduced the prong collar to Macy, and kind of the same reaction that Stark had when we first put it on first correction, let out a god awful yelp. And the beauty is Patrice understood that just because the dog yelps doesn't mean anything. It's startled. It doesn't know what this new feeling is, and they can't say hey to us, so they make other noises. It sounds horrible. Nobody wants to hear a dog yelp, but it doesn't mean they hurt. If they yelp continually, maybe then we got to look at it again. But I put that prong collar on some dogs, and they just screamed like with no pressure on it, no anything on it. They just screamed for some reason. And then once we let them go through whatever was going through their minds, they followed us, which was beautiful. So don't be afraid of the tools, guys. But please work on your threshold management. It is so important. I can't stress it enough. Some of the other things I've noticed, again, we're talking about excitement in dogs. I talk about the excitement a lot about dogs, and that means inside the house, outside the house, when they see people, when they see other dogs, when they see cats, they see squirrels, they see whatever, see butterflies. Some dogs get really, really excited, and it's okay for them to be excited, but there's a time and a place. Stark loves his prong collar as it typically leads to a walk. Absolutely. You associated the prong with a positive. Guys, tools are great if associated properly. It's the same way with cutting a dog's nails. If associated properly, it shouldn't scare your dog. Nothing should scare your dog if it's introduced to them properly. Same way I always say, muzzle conditioning a dog is good. Muzzle conditioning is to accept the muzzle, and the muzzle is a good thing. It's how we associate it and the energy we use when we use these different type of tools, or we're cutting the dog's nails or whatever, we're cleaning their ears, doing their eyes, whatever. If you have one of those wrinkly faced dogs, cleaning their skins, it's how we represent it to them. If you go to a dog nervous about cutting their nails and your energy is, oh my God, I may cut the dog's quip. I mean, oh my God, you will create your dog to be afraid of that process. Same thing with the muzzles. If you go with your muzzle, like, I got to get the muzzle on you, and you're doing it with that anger or the frustration that I always say is such a negative thing, you're going to create that muzzle to be a negative tool. If you do with the prong collar, oh my God, it looks barbaric, it's horrible, what am I doing? No, but I got to use it. This is what, and the dog's going to read all that negative energy. And that's why when I worked with Donna and Rich and Stark, I introduced the prong collar to them, because if they would have been working with him, and like Patrice unfortunately had dealt with, if they would have worked with him and he would have let out that yelp, they may have stopped. And the dog then will say, oh my God, look, I yelp because they put this thing on me. That they stop, that thing is bad. So it's how we present it. And the most important thing, again, is our energy on how we present these different types of tools. And I don't care what the tool is, as long as it's not a tool that is, don't use a cattle prod on a dog, guys. That's going to hurt the dog. Tools should never hurt the dog. So if you use a gentle leader, you use a martingale collar, prong collar, an e-collar, you introduce it to the dog as it's the best thing since sliced bread, with a positive energy that this is for the benefit of the dog, of you. This is going to help you. This is going to do this for you. This is going to do that for you. Your dog is going to accept it, and the journey is easier. Patrice said, I would have stopped if I didn't see you saying it's normal. It's normal. Whenever we introduce something, it's like introducing something to us. If somebody introduces something that's not normal, you have hesitation, you're not sure about it, you're whatever, and you can verbalize those feelings. If we do this to our dogs. They can't verbalize, hey, this is uncomfortable. I'm not sure about this. They'll let out a yelp, and the yelp is okay. And again, one yelp doesn't mean you hurt your dog, guys. You startled your dog. You caught your dog off guard. It's unsure. So it's saying, hey, what is this new thing that I feel? I'm not familiar with it. That's when you slow it down a little bit. Slow it down and take the time to make it the best thing. People think I'm out of my freaking mind sometimes because if I go to help a customer of mine that dogs doesn't like its nails cut, I actually let the dog sniff the clipper. I pet the dog with the clipper. I reassociate the nail cutter as a positive thing. Look at this. I'm not cutting your nails with it. I'm using it to pet you. I'm letting you smell it. You're doing good. I may give you a treat. But I reintroduced this thing as a more positive thing. Desiree, how can I stop my dog from jumping on my furniture and on people when they come into the house and bite? Okay, so again, that's usually created by overexcitement. So what I would do is definitely practice with your dog the act of getting people into the house calmly. You have to represent people coming in represents calm. And how do you do that? You put your dog on a leash with a collar, preferably over a harness. And what you do is you have somebody, a friend, a relative, or somebody who lives in the house, go to the door, knock on the door, create the excitement that normally would happen because somebody knocked on the door, rang the doorbell. Your dog's going to go back crap crazy, and you're going to sit there with the leash, make a correction. No, that's unacceptable. And you're not allowed to be excited. You're not allowed to jump on our guests, but you don't open the front door until the state of mind is calm. Remember, Desiree, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Desiree, it's real important. Don't look at the obedience, look at the behavior. Obedience and behavior are two different worlds. Obedience is somebody's at the door, I put my dog on a leash, I make the correction, I say sit, the dog sits, that's obedience. But if the dog is sitting, doing it, okay, let him in, I gotta see, I gotta see. That's excitement, that's the state of mind. And it doesn't matter if it's a puppy. That's the thing that you want to control is that state of mind. That process of somebody coming into the home needs to represent calm. So you have to do this 100 times, 1,000 times, 5,000 times. I don't know. Every dog's an individual. But you don't go through the process of opening the door until you see your dog's mind sitting there going, okay, now what's next? They're calm. You're calm. Then you go for the process of grabbing the doorknob. Grabbing the doorknob, and the dog may start getting excited again because they understand the process. And then, Michelle, I'll get to your question in a second. Um, you you go to grab the doorknob, they start getting excited. You stop, get back to the state of mind you want. Go to the process of grabbing the doorknob to try to open the door. You also need to instruct your guests. Once we got that accomplished, we can get to the door, we can open the door, they're staying calm. Now our guests are going to come in. You got to instruct your guests. No, to quote Cesar Millan, no look, no touch, no talk. And it's real important because they're there to see you, not the new puppy, not the dog, whatever. And they should just basically ignore the dog, say hello to the humans, and go to whatever room of the house they're going to go to, the living room, den, kitchen, whatever, and just sit there. And since the dog is still on the leash, and yes, it's a puppy, you bring the dog over to the person when they're calm. When the dog is calm, not the person. When the dog is calm, you bring them over. If the dog stays in a calm state of mind, you can give them their reward of the human petting them. But if they get excited during that process, we stop. You ask the human to stop petting, bring it all the way back to calm, and then continue the process. It's the excitement that causes it. Yes, it's a puppy. They're going to nip. They're going to use their mouths, but you actually control all that by teaching the dog in puppyhood that the front door actually represents calm. That will also help you with walking your dog for threshold management, teaching them that front door represents calm, which makes it easier for you to get out. So again, I would refer back to, even though it's about mastering the walk, episode 2, threshold management. Just visualize that same process for somebody coming in. And it's okay to put a note on your door saying that, hey, the puppy's in training. It may take us a while to answer the door. If you don't like it, leave. Because it's so important to the dog to understand that's unacceptable. We wouldn't accept it from our human children. Why are we accepting it from our dog children? So I hope that helped, Desiree. Let me know in the comments. Michelle says, we're working with a trainer now for both dogs since Bergen is not food motivated. We tried Prong collar. She was a million times easier to train. Didn't react negatively to it at all. I um, wouldn't have thought a puppy needed a prong, but I trusted the professionals, the trainers like you. Absolutely. And Michelle, do me a favor, text me the trainers information, because I do get people asking me a lot from Long Island uh, for recommended trainers. I'd like to have a conversation with them because I would be happy to recommend people that need help on Long Island if as long as I can feel trust for me and the trainer. Yeah, guys, Bergen's not exactly the littlest puppy, so I would say any of the tools that you would think about when we talk about the adverse tools, and I use air quotes purposely, the prong collar or the e-collar, I personally don't start them till at least 6 months old. Uh, and again, but if you start everything I've talked about at 8 weeks old, you may never ever need the other tools because you're going to teach them calm is the way to go. Yeah, yeah, definitely text me his information. I'd love to talk to him. Uh, just so I have somebody else I can refer out there, because I do get a lot of people that still ask me for help on Long Island. I do got to make another trip up there. Just gas prices are scaring the hell out of me right now. Um, but everything should be based on calm. Bergen is 8 months old. We got her at 6 months, and she's already a little wild. Yeah, but just again, Michelle, set the rules, and don't be hesitant to go to the e-collar with her. That's okay. Work on your leash etiquette first, then you can introduce the e-collar, because we're going to teach the e-collar the same way we teach the leash. So it's that same theory that we went with Athena. Find the lowest level of stim to reinforce the better behaviors, the sit, the come, the whatever the basic obedience is, and then we have a quick way to do a pop of the leash when the dog's not on a leash. There is nothing wrong with it, but you got to teach it first. Remember, guys, it's always that journey I talk about. It's building that Ming vase. Takes time. Takes a lot of time to get that beautiful piece of art, and that's what this whole journey of dog training is about. It's getting to that beautiful piece of art each and every time. But don't get frustrated with the process, Michelle. I know it's hard. You got two strong dogs, two strong-minded dogs. You're strong. Your mind is stronger. Get there, and remember, stay calm. Because if you can't stay calm, we're not going to fix this. So, um, again, guys, everything we ever work with, from the time we get a dog home, and I don't care if it's a puppy or an older dog, when you bring a dog into your home, the first thing you should start teaching your dogs is about calm. They are not allowed to get excited on their own. If you want to play with them and you want the excitement level, that's fine because you initiated it. And remember, if you initiate the excitement, your job is to end the excitement at zero calm. Don't leave them in an excited state of mind. Most people don't realize how we directly affect our dog's behavior. Dogs that show separation anxiety from humans is usually humans creating it with that excitement. We'll be home, don't we'll miss you, we'll miss you, we'll miss you, we won't be gone long, blah, blah, blah. And then we walk out and the dog's like, what the hell's going on? And they're bouncing off the walls because we left them in an excited state of mind. Instead of bringing them to calm because I have to leave. So when I leave my house, and this I did with Zoe as a puppy, I did it with every dog I've ever owned. I shouldn't say owned, I ever had, or that was part of my pack. I never made a big deal when I left. When they were puppies, I put them in the crate because the crate was a good thing. I put them in the crate maybe 10, 15 minutes before I left. And I never would rush out of my house. I would take my time. So my energy of, oh my God, I got to get this, I got to get this together, I got to get this, I got to get over here, I got to do this. I don't like that in my life now with an older dog. I never rush to get places. I always get places early. It's a better way for me. Personally, I think it's a better way for most people. But if we can learn to leave our house in a calm state of mind, that's how we're going to leave our dogs, in a calm state of mind. Same thing with the fear of thunder or fireworks. Dogs get startled. We reinforce it by putting human emotions. Oh my God, it's only thunder. It's not going to hurt you. Relax. And dogs like, oh. So we have so much more control over their state of mind, and we can create it as a positive or a negative. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, too many people reinforce the negative instead of worrying about the calm, the positive. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Put it in the comments. Let me know if this stuff makes sense. I'm still waiting to see if anybody's going to take me up on my offer. I'm going to put my information up here. I am not rolling this out the first week of August like I was hoping, but I am still willing to do this. And you can share this with your friends and relatives around the country and around the world. Free 15-minute dog training sessions. It's going to be Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to do 15-minute training sessions with people live, one-on-one, me and that person, me here, them we're in their living room. It'll be like I'm sitting in their living room doing a training session for the world to see, so we can help so many more people. So again, if anybody's interested in it or knows somebody who can use that type of help, reach out to me, text me at my phone number, 631-514-9128. Shoot me an email at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. Guys, it can definitely help people. I believe it. I'm going to roll this out. I would love to have some people participate, because otherwise it's just me doing this. And I think everybody will get a better reaction, more benefit from it if we have other people, talking with me, being with me focused on their issue one-on-one, blinders on. I'm not going to look at the questions that come up until after. And share it. Guys, share my Back to Basics page. Please, the more people we get involved, the more we can do, and the quicker we can help these dogs, and the quicker we can help live up to my goal of together we can help one dog and one family at a time. We've been training Athena by walking her up to a barking dog who is in a house. Then when she reacts, back off to see her comfort level, try to do it regularly to desensitize her. Beautiful. That is beautiful. And that's what it's about. It's desensitizing them to whatever is triggering them. So if it's walking and they're leash reactive for another dog, you have to be around other dogs. There are a lot of training methods out there. Well, if my dog's leash reactive to another dog and I see another dog, I'm going to turn around and walk the other way, walk down the side street to avoid the whole situation. Avoidance isn't teaching. You have to desensitize them. And that's why I always say work with friends, work with relatives that have other dogs. So if I was working with Athena, I'd either bring Zoe, or I'd ask a neighbor or somebody, have Michelle ask a relative or neighbor to bring another dog, and we would stay on the other side of the street, and we would just slowly desensitize Athena to any type of reactivity. No matter what that dog is doing, this has to represent calm, and we're going to take the process nice and slow, and just make her realize, hey, this is an unacceptable behavior. This is what he wants, because when I'm working with them and I see the reaction, I want praise, praise, praise. If they're food motivated, of course, food. How now we have to do the same with Bergen because she's reactive to people. Absolutely. But it's not about coming close to people. It's about first bridging the gap. Maybe she starts getting reactive when they're 15 feet away. Well, that's where we stop until she's calm. And then we take another step forward. And when she's calm, we take another step forward. And sometimes we may have to take 2 steps back, but that's okay. That's that process of building the vase, on the little spinning wheel thing, and it may collapse and we start over. That's okay, because it's a journey. And the end result of this journey is so good. Guys, I stress it. You can desensitize them. It just takes time, patience, and that's where the no anger, no frustration comes in. You can't get frustrated with the process because the end result is so worth it. It's worth it to you. It's worth it to your dog. Um, the trainer I'm working with says he can bring his dog eventually. Uh, Again, I don't know what his plan is, but at this point, I would have him bring his dog next session and start working on it. And don't get me wrong, there have been times I brought Zoe to a session where if I have my wife or my daughter with me, they're handling Zoe. But if I don't, I let my customer handle Zoe. One, because they get to feel what it feels like to walk with a dog that stays calm no matter what. And I handle their dog because I'm more equipped to handle their dog. So if his dog is good, he should say to you or Rob, "Hey, why don't you guys handle my dog? I'll handle Athena, so we can start the journey of training her not to be reactive." I, I don't believe in flooding a dog when they're reactive, like bringing them in. If I had my own facility where I had 20 dogs there and bringing them, throwing them into the wolf's den, for lack of better terms, I believe in desensitizing them, and that starts with one dog. I've done the same process with certain dogs at dog parks, not inside the dog park, outside the dog park. Do you recommend a prong collar fitted to the puppy? I've been having using Athena's. I hate to buy one that she'll grow out of. Well, the beauty of the prong collar is as she grows, you can add links. So I would suggest getting her own and fitting it for her at whatever she is today. And then as she buy some extra links, and as she grows, you just put another link in. That's the beauty of the prong. They grow with you. Um, Again, if she doesn't have a lot of fur on her neck, I would recommend the 2.25 millimeter from the Herm Springer. The 3.0 would be fine because she is a big girl, whichever one. But no, buy one, buy extra links. This way, as she grows, I think the 2.25 is 16 inches, the 3.0 is 18 inches. Um, but you can always buy extra links if you need to. That's the beauty of them. If it's too big, you take links out. If it's too small, you add a link. So yeah, buy her own, get her used to it, let her have her smell on it so she knows the difference. Don't be afraid because she can't outgrow it because you can always make it bigger. And like I said, I like the 2.25. I feel I get the best corrections out of the 2.25. I think it has more meaning to the dog at the 2.25. There are other trainers that think the 3.0 is better. I've used both. I just feel like personally, I think my comfort factor, which is important, is on the 2.25. But whatever he recommends, I would go with. But definitely remember Herm Springer. Get the quality ones. Don't buy the ones at Petco or PetSmart or just buy quality. So absolutely, the prong collar is a great tool. I think every dog should learn how to work with one because it just gives you an access, and it won't create that at all. I love the people that say, "Oh, it's so barbaric," blah 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 blah. Yeah, then do the 3.0 Herm Springer if that's what he recommends. It's 18 inches. That may be huge on her. I don't know how big her neck is right now. Um, and buy one or two extra. I think the links come in 2 packs. Buy a pack of 2 links. If you need them, you need them. If you don't, oh well. Um, People say that the prong collars are barbaric. We love the prong collar and e-collar. Stark loves them too. Absolutely. Are barbaric. I'll tell you now, guys, the way the prong is designed, it's even pressure around the whole entire neck, not focused here. Here, like a regular collar, choke, or a slip leash, or a martingale collar, puts direct pressure on the throat. A good quality Herm Springer again. Um, Prong puts even pressure around so you're not focused on the trachea or the dog, which is healthier for your dog. And they will not impale your dog because you're not supposed to sit there and hold tension on it. Um, yeah, absolutely. The prong and the e-collars help. I know Donna, Rich Stark, Alex, Brian has helped them so much. And it's helped Stark because again, when we introduced the tools to Stark, My mindset was, this is the best thing in the world for you, pal. You're going to love it. You're going to thrive. I had such a positive energy about it that Stark accepted it. And once Don and Rich and the family saw it, their energy changed. And now Stark loves it. He looks forward. He sees that prong collar. He's, yay, I'm going for a walk. He sees that the e-collar come out. Yay, I'm going to work. And that's what you want, guys. It's how we present it. Oh, my chair kind of flopped there. Sorry about that. It's how we present it to them, and it works. So I am going to try to focus on doing some of the videos on the prong collar and the e-collar. Patrice, I'm going to do it very similar to the videos I sent you. There'll be multiple videos in each of the different tools that I go through. He sits beautifully to put both collars on. He sits so happy. Yeah, he's looking forward to it, guys. You know, like I said, I use multiple different tools with Zoe. We use predominantly a slip leash, but there are times we use a regular leash on her collar. There are times I bring out the prong collar. There are times I use a harness with her, because when I'm taking her in my car, I put a harness on her for the seatbelt, so I just clip the leash on. But she's learned to work and walk with all the tools to make it easier for her. And the only reason I went to the prong collar with her is not that she's a puller, not that she does anything. She has a thyroid problem, and we notice that sometimes when there's too much pressure on her thyroid, I guess, she kind of goes a lot. Not a lot of pressure, but just seems like it. And the prong eliminated that, so I don't have to worry about it. So we're going to do some of these videos. I got to order another e-collar to do it. But we're going to do these processes one thing at a time, and I'm going to take you through step by step on how to use these tools properly to give you the peace of mind, because it's going to start with you, and how to introduce the prong to your dog, how to introduce an e-collar to your dog. I'm going to use not my dog. I'm going to find somebody else's dog. It could be one of my grand dogs or whatever, to show you how we introduce it to them. So this way you guys can become more comfortable using the tools that are designed to help you. So with that being said, guys, I'm at the half-hour mark. I do have something to do today, which I will get with you guys later to explain why. But today is a good, happy day here in the Davidman household, and I want to get there sooner than later. But of course, if there's questions, I'm going to answer all your questions. And again, please keep in mind that, I talk about it all the time. Energy is the most important form of communication we have with our dogs. If your energy is calm, your dog's energy is calm. If your energy is nervous, your dog's energy is nervous. Dogs truly, truly are our mirrors. They are. They understand without you speaking. So your energy is the most important form of communication. So for your dog's safety, for your dog's well-being, stay calm, guys. It works. So as always, guys, it is absolutely a privilege and an honor for me to bring this to you each and every week. Anybody interested in doing my new Tuesday night platform, please shoot me an email, shoot me a text message, say, hey, I'm interested in it, and we'll get it out to you guys, and we'll set up a schedule. But in the meantime, again, thank you for inviting me into your homes this Saturday morning and each Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. It's truly an honor for me to be here. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you next Saturday.